Hello and welcome to another video about Infinity. Following my last video that looked at mistakes that I've made, I now polled the community and we've pulled together a list of some common rules mistakes in general. There's quite a few of them, and I think it's probably involved more than one video because the rulebook is pretty chunky. Even with the wiki, which is superb, rules mistakes happen in Infinity and there's a lot of interactions. So I've pulled together a few of them and we're going to go through 4 today. We'll go through some more later on. I haven't touched some of the newer ones to do with some of the FAQs to do with arrows and stuff because I don't really want to get involved in that minefield just yet. So let's go on to the first one. So the first rules error is using impact weapons in face-to-face roles like missile launchers, rocket launchers, grenades, that sort of thing. By their nature, you're going to probably be hitting more than one model in the template at once. That's what they're good for, really. So you roll your to-hit dice against the targets once. So if you've got 3 targets under your template and you've got a burst of 1, either because it's ARO or because you're throwing a grenade and you've got 1 shot or whatever, or missile launcher without being a link team, you roll your 1 dice and every model under that template compares their roll to that 1 dice roll. Okay? So you don't roll per person or per target if you're shooting that weapon. Okay, you roll once and they compare theirs to you. Okay, so that's important because it could be really good or really bad depending on what you roll for that 1 dice or 2 dice, whatever it's going to be. The page number's here somewhere. I'll show you what I mean. So here is an example to show what I mean. Here we've got the horrible situation of a Swiss Guard firing a missile launcher at a link team of JSA, and here's rolled a 2. Not a great result here. Now every person hit by the blast of his missile launcher will have to roll separately against that 2. So in this case here, my Domaru has rolled a 16, which is probably going to be a fail given the fact he's in cover, and of course he has -6 mutism. So he'll be hit by the rocket launcher, missile launcher even. But here, the Kempai rolled a 4, so he is almost certainly going to be unavoided by that blast. And every person in the blast, you'll roll separately. Now bear in mind, of course, if this is a core link team and they are reacting to his ARO shot, they all have to declare the same skill or it'll break the link. So the chances are, if that Domaru declared dodge, they all declared dodge. If he declared a shoot, the Kempai probably couldn't shoot from there anyway because people couldn't see him, and this person at the back here, this Kaisotsu, hit by the blast, also can't see him, so they have to declare dodges separately, which means if the Domaru shot, the link would get broken, but that's a different sort of point really. So you compare the roll of every person under that template to the roll from your shooting model, and that applies to either ARO or to a normal active turn shot. The second rules error is critical hits, and I must confess this one I didn't really fully know either. When you have a critical hit, you get a bonus hit, but it's not a bonus attack. And by that, for example, if you fire an explosive weapon, normally explosive weapons do 3 damage rolls. If you do get a critical hit, you don't roll 6 times, you roll 4 times. Okay? And there are a couple of exceptions as well to how the rules work. For example, for continuous damage and T2 weapons, it's a bit different. If you roll a critical hit with a T2 weapon, the extra damage is normal. So a T2 weapon does 2 points of damage normally, so 2 wounds normally. If you roll a critical hit, that critical hit does 1 more damage, not 2. That's on page 74 for T2 rifles. And also for continuous damage, the extra damage dice isn't continuous either. And I must confess, it took me quite a while to find it in the rulebook. It's kind of hidden away at the index at the back. It's not really part of the damage section I thought it would be. So if you roll a critical hit with a continuous damage weapon, normally 1 hit with continuous, you'd roll once for armor. If you fail it, you roll again, and so on until you burn to death. If you roll a critical hit against a target, the extra hit they get is only normal damage, so both of them don't roll up. Let me show you what I mean. So here is an example of what I mean. Here we have a Broken 9 firing his rocket launcher at a poor Fusilier in the panic room, And Mayukin, in active turn, rolled 2 dice to hit. He rolled a 17, which is a miss, and a 12, which is a crit. So this Fusilier here is hit by the crit. Now, they've rolled their first armor roll, which is a 19, which is a pass. If that was a fail, because it's continuous, of course, they'd take another damage roll and maybe go from being upright to being dead without being knocked out. Now for the second damage roll for being a crit. And let's, for the sake of argument, say they roll a 2, which fails. They fail their armor roll, making them unconscious. So I'll go and get a token from over here, making them unconscious. But because this is the second damage roll, they failed and this is from the crit. That failed damage roll doesn't trigger continuous, so they don't count rolling, so they're only KO rather than being dead. So if a handy medic's nearby to heal them, all the better. Number 3 is dodging and AROs. First of all, of course, dodges don't provoke AROs, but the timing of the dodge doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter whether you declare the dodge at the beginning or the end of your order, and by that I mean your second or first short skill, because dodges always happen at the end of the order sequence. So if you declare a dodge then a move, you can't dodge out of someone's ARO line of sight or whatever and then move away and not get an ARO. Basically, you declare a dodge then a move, and the move happens first, which means they can still get an ARO against you. Okay, so dodges always happen at the end of the sequence. The page numbers for this are page 21 and 83. I'll show what I mean. Hopefully my video will make more sense than me talking to you about it right now. Hopefully. And here's what I mean. A Domaru here wants to go this direction, and for whatever reason doesn't want to do a cautious move. And a Fusilier is watching this fire lane here. Now, the Domaru player might go, okay, first of all I will dodge, and I'll dodge my 4 inches across, like so. That doesn't provoke arrows. I'll then count moving, and because I dodged first, doesn't provoke arrows, you can't shoot me. Well, that doesn't really work because the dodge is done after the order sequence is resolved. So even though he declared a dodge first, then a move, the move happens first, and so the Fusilier would get the dodge. So would get to shoot. Sorry. Now it'd be face to face with the dodge versus the shot, but the order sequence in terms of what orders first in this case doesn't really matter that much, because it does say that dodges are done at the end of the order sequence. The next one is surprise attacks aren't valid in ARO, so you can be camouflaged and appear, or hidden deployment and appear and make an attack an ARO, but any surprise attack mod you have, normally -3, that doesn't apply to their hit roll back at you if you're doing it as an ARO. So surprise attacks only work in your active turn, not in the reactive turn when you're AROing them. So let's pretend it's the Pano turn and the Fusilier wants to move through this gap and through here to go near the panic room or another objective, and hiding here is a camo marker. He moves forward, he moves his first short skill. The camo marker then declares a shoot as an arrow, revealing it to be a ninja. Facing the wrong way. There we go. Now, the Fusilier, as their second short skill, declares a shoot. Now, in terms of mods, of course, there's a mod for the -6 mimetism for the ninja here, but the ninja also, if you can see here, has surprise attack -3. Now that won't actually kick in because it's as an ARO against Fusilier, so the Fusilier will be at -6 to hit because of mimetism, and maybe cover as well, but not at another -3 because of surprise attack, because that only works during the ninja's active turn. So the Fusilier is still probably not going to have a good time of it, facing a ninja in cover with SMG, but the ninja can't use all its mods in its reactive turn. And the final rules error number 5, a bonus one for people who have still stayed in tune, is not subscribing to the channel. I mean, it's a weird rule, I didn't think it was going to be here, but it's good to see Corvus Belli have been thinking of this. If you look carefully at the rule page number 5 here, you'll see very clearly, okay, you must subscribe singled out. You see, I didn't know it was there either until someone pointed out to me, so there we go. So thank you for following that rule and subscribing. Thank you for watching so far. Hopefully I haven't got any rules wrong about this video. That'd become embarrassing. I'll then have to release a new video about my rules mistakes in this video, but it's more content, I guess. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was informative to you. Any common rules mistakes that you think also want to get brought up, put them down in the notes down there. Get your pen and put them in the notes underneath. Actually type it, it's probably best. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.